Okay, so we are going to do some Dutch braids into more space buns. So just like in the last video, you can take it and part it down the middle, or you can brush the hair back and do a zigzag pattern for a part. I think that the zigzag pattern is really cool for these space buns because it just gives it a little bit of something different. But once again, you can part it right down the middle. So for the zigzag part, you can take a comb like this, or you can take a comb that's more just like on the pointed end and do the zigzag. So I always start from either side, whichever you're more comfortable with, and go and just do a zigzag pattern. So I'm literally just taking my comb and stroking it in a zigzag motion. So now that I've had this in a zigzag pattern, I'm going to take this other hair and twist it and clip it out of the way, just so I don't have any hair from the other side going into the back. So then this back here, since this is going to end up being a bun, we're not going to end up having to do a braid to it. So I'm just going to tie this out of the way because we're going to be stopping right at where I sectioned off at the top area with our Dutch braid. Have you hold that? Okay. So now once again, we're going to start. I always like to start when I do my zigzag braids. I always like to kind of start where the corner is of like that first point from the other side. So I'm going to take this section right in through here. Make sure that you comb, once again, all of this hair over. So taking that section, almost like a triangle shaped section, and once again, take your 3 sections. Your middle goes over your left, I'm sorry, your right, and then your middle goes over your left. So once again, smaller sections for this. Your outside goes to your right, your middle holding it, and then your middle goes to your outside right. So once again, your middle goes on the outside, your middle goes over the outside left. So add hair again. So you always want to make sure, once again, that you're going to the middle of that section to grab hair. You don't want to grab it and go all the way to the outside because then you're going to have too much hair. So just take from the outside into the middle, and then from the middle to the outside section. Okay, so adding sections to the outside. Always making sure that this middle is going over your outside sections. And making sure too that you brush through with your fingers on those sections that you're adding hair to. You want to make sure too that you're keeping your hands very close to the head. When you start taking your hands and placing them farther away as you braid, the braid is going to be very loose. So almost like I keep my pinkies almost rested on her head to keep nice tension. It should almost like be pulling on them without actually hurting. So once again, we're at the section where we clipped up and parted it off. So let's braid down a little bit. Braid down. and tie off. Okay, so then once again, now that we take these sections, we can take a brush and have them look down and pull all this hair nice and high up. You want to have it high up on top of the head. If you're not going to be putting their head down, it's going to be a lot looser and it's not going to be as nice and tight. And then you can take some hairspray and keep this nice and tight. So now then with the space buns, you can take it and you want to start kind of just like messing up this bun area. So to kind of like wrap it around your fingers as you're holding the hair tie. So then to start wrapping it around the hair for a messy bun. So then we've gotten it all nice and tight, and we can take bobby pins and start placing it in the hair. Down, spray, brush up, and take again, just kind of fold in, wrap around, holding onto the hair tie. And once again, these messy buns don't have to be so awesome. The bobby pins are what's going to help give it that fun, messy texture. So just taking the bobby pin in and kind of wrapping it around, putting it in halfway into the actual hair and then halfway into the base of the hair. So anywhere that feels like it's too much hair out, just take it and kind of twist it around and pin it into the base of the hair. And that's kind of how you would do a zigzag parting with Dutch braids and space buns.